The Senate is expected to pass the National Defense Authorization Act. It contains legislation that was sparked by a local soldier and a series of Fox 46 investigations into military medical malpractice. Fox 46 investigator Matt Grant has how this story is getting results for military families.
Well, I think we've talked about it. It's something that's never been.
Right.
So it's
You can't say.
Sergeant First Class Richard Stayskal praising a bipartisan compromise he sacrificed a year of his life fighting for.
It's finally starting to sink in, so I'm feeling pretty good. A lot more smiles coming my way.
In between cancer treatments, the Purple Heart Green Beret from Pinehurst, North Carolina, is back on Capitol Hill asking for justice for soldiers victimized by negligent medical care.
I can't underscore enough how remarkable this achievement is.
13 months ago, we were in this same room when Stayskal first met Democratic Congresswoman Jackie Spear of California.
I'm asking for fair, equal rights.
They're just asking for justice. This will be one of the first hearings we have.
It was days after our first investigation into his own botched care. Medical records show military doctors at Womack not only misdiagnosed his lung cancer as pneumonia, but never told him a second review recommended a biopsy. He's now stage 4 terminal.
How much of an influence did Richard Stayskal's story have on you and to getting to where we are today?
I could say it with one word: profound.
Thank you again so much.
In April, Spear introduced a bill named after him, co-sponsored by Republican Representative Richard Hudson of Concord, that would have given troops the ability to sue the government for medical malpractice, something prevented because of a 1950 Supreme Court ruling known as the Ferris Doctrine. The bill stalled in the Senate due to opposition from Lindsey Graham.
Would you be willing to meet with Richard Stayskal?
Sure, I'd be glad to meet with him, but I'm not going to change my mind.
But lawmakers found a workaround, a bipartisan compromise, which passed the House Wednesday as part of the National Defense Authorization Act, would give the Department of Defense $400 million over the next decade to pay out malpractice claims internally. If signed into law, the measure would give troops, for the first time ever, the ability to be compensated for negligent medical care at our nation's military hospitals.
Sometimes good things come out of terrible things, and this is just one of them.
It's a miracle. It is a Christmas miracle, a huge win. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how remarkable that is.
Despite the win, Spear says she has serious concerns about allowing the DoD to investigate its own malpractice cases and paying out claims.
We're going to have to watch the DoD. They're going to have to develop regulations.
You touched my heart when I first met you, and I knew this was something that was a fight worth fighting.
A few floors down, we followed Stayskal, along with his wife and attorney, as they met with Congressman Richard Hudson.
This is a sweet, tasting victory.
Thanking each other and Fox 46 for getting results.
This guy was relentless. Nobody was as dogged as Matt Grant, who was there every step of the way. Without the media driving this, we never would have succeeded.
Or the drive of a soldier who never stopped fighting despite a dire diagnosis.
This is landmark legislation. Typically in Washington, it takes a decade to get something like this done. Because Republicans and Democrats were so compelled by a rich story and were willing to come together and work on this, we've got a miracle story here.
Matt Grant, Fox 46, Charlotte.
And Fox 46 reached out to Senator Lindsey Graham's office for comment, but did not hear back. The NDAA is expected to pass the Senate. It then goes to President Trump to sign, which could happen before Christmas.